Everyone wants to fit in is one of those things we hear often, yet never really think about too deeply. When I talk about a pack of humans, I get a few weird stares. To refer to humans as pack animals seems like such a primal thing. Well, believe it or not, humans still possess this grouping trait that helps us adapt and fill our emotional and mental needs. But back in the day, this trait helped us hunt big animals and survive, but nowadays it's just for us to make friends and not be lonely. Whether it be a friend group at your school, your meth gang, or even your coworkers at work, everyone, no matter who you are, where you are, what you are, has always at one point in their lives wanted to fit in. Because nobody wants to become the next lone wolf. Now, before we can discuss malicious and non-malicious groups and how people do anything to get into them, we need to take a look at malicious and non-malicious individuals. So, what's a good friend to you? Well, some would say a good friend is someone who's kind to them. A good friend is someone who's generous to them. Well, I would say a good friend, or a best friend even, should want the best for you. And let's say your friend sees you doing something that's harmful, like you're drinking alcohol. Your homie should immediately tell you to quit jerking off and to stop drinking yourself to sleep. They'll instantly criticize you and tell you to stop, because they care about you and about your health. So if they see you're steering off into the wrong path, they'll try and guide you back onto the right one, which is what a good friend should do. Which is the complete opposite of a malicious friend, who will never criticize you, and at first, it seems like a great deal because they're not hurting your feelings by being judgmental and telling you what you need to hear, and you get to keep drinking alcoholic beverages. But now, what they've done is they've encouraged or ignored bad behavior, and it's resulted in you to keep doing that bad behavior, which will ultimately lead to your downfall. Now back to malicious groups. What groups are is they're just bigger versions of the individuals. So if there's narcissistic rude people, they'll kind of ball up and cluster together and make a group. Now there's two ways this can go. Two types of groups that can come out of this. Scenario 1. The group will become openly narcissistic and toxic. Or scenario 2. The group will appear all nice and accepting on the outside and they'll hide their toxicity from open view. So scenario 1 groups won't seem friendly or approachable from the eyes of a regular person. And that's because most times these groups are loud and impolite, or they're doing drugs or other self-harming activities. So scenario 1, malicious groups become wannabe gangsters. That's scenario 1. And believe it or not, this is the better of the two outcomes. And then there's scenario 2, which is most likely the worst outcome, where the malicious people don't act outwardly narcissistic and cheeky. Instead, they'll act like the most accepting and friendliest group you could imagine. And what happens is that people who don't have friends will be lured into these extremely quote-unquote accepting groups of people, these quote-unquote safe spaces, and I hate that word, just so you know. And now there's this guy or gal that's all alone and wants to fit in, and they've just joined a group of people that act nice and don't judge them, and all seems well, but on the inside, these people are the most narcissistic and cunning entities known to man. And they'll rope in these desperate people and make them evil too. And that's why the second group scenario is worse, because at least the first group scenario with the little gangster children isn't welcoming to healthy people. So the poor people who are just lonely and desperate for a good friend don't get sucked into them. And in my school, I see these lonely kids every day. I see kids in the hallways or the stairwells, and they'll be sitting all by themselves in little corners or next to the elevator and having their lunch with their little lunch box and their apple in one corner and their sandwich on the floor. And once they're done eating, they just go on their phones. And then these people, they really struggle to join the pack and fit in because they don't go outside, they don't talk to others, and all their friends are online. And it's a bit animalistic, but the number of friends you have is an indicator letting people know that you're no threat and you're fun to hang around. So if you don't have any friends and you show off antisocial behaviors, good people won't want to approach you. Instead, you'll get approached by bullies or manipulative people that act like they're your friend. Now that I've told you what a lone wolf is, don't be one. I'm tired of seeing people sitting in the damn halls like homeless people. I mean, damn, yo, like there's tables for a reason. But don't get me wrong, my point isn't to diss all these people. I'm just trying to say that to find good friends, you need to be a good friend yourself. And people tend to forget that fitting in is not conforming to the majority, but accepting people and all of their characteristics. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit longer than usual, so dislike it if you disliked it, like it if you like it, and have a great day, folks.